Britons are mourning the death of their queen. On Thursday, Queen Elizabeth II, UK's longest-serving monarch, died at the Balmoral Castle. The Queen came to the throne, or was enthroned, in 1952. She reigned for 70 years, a period of enormous change. Charles, the Queen's eldest son, became the king automatically by long-standing tradition. In his statement, King Charles III said the death of his mother was a moment of great sadness. On Thursday, the doctors first issued unprecedented health bulletins. They were concerned by the Queen's health and advised medical supervision. Her close family rushed to the Scottish residence. Later on Thursday evening, the Royal Palace announced the Queen had died peacefully in the afternoon. Queen Elizabeth II's tenure as head of state spanned the transition from Britain's empire to the Commonwealth. She witnessed both World War II and the end of the Cold War, and the UK's entry into and withdrawal from the European Union. She saw 15 prime ministers come and go, starting with Winston Churchill and ending with Liz Truss just this week. Since the news of Queen's ill health broke yesterday, the crowd started gathering outside the Balmoral Castle, Buckingham Palace and the Windsor Castle. The commotion continues at these estates. People from around London, even the world, are paying their tributes to the Queen. Ceremonial death gun salute of 96 shots were fired in the memory of the Queen. The guns were fired from Hyde Park and the Tower of London, Edinburgh Castle in Scotland, Hillsborough Castle in Northern Ireland, and Cardiff Castle in Wales. Shots were also fired from the Channel Islands and Gibraltar. The 96 shots count for every year of her life. A somber moment for all of the United Kingdom, as former Prime Minister Boris Johnson put it. Wave after wave, the grief is rolling through the world. And for more on this, we are now being joined by Maida Sharifi from London. Sharifi is a journalist and an analyst with specialization in foreign affairs and West Asia. Maida, welcome to WION.
Thank you.
How did leaders and citizens in West Asia and Gulf nations mourn the passing of the Queen?
There have been an outpour of messages from across the Arab world, especially in the Gulf region, where the Queen had very strong ties with the head of the kingdom in the Saudi and in the United Arab Emirates. Everybody is moved by her passing. And it just shows she's built a status as a global icon in West Asia and across the world. So it's not just a national grief. There are a lot of countries in West Asia that are standing with Britain in mourning her. Here in the UK, we've entered a 10-day mourning. And it's especially significant with West Asia because she has received a lot of ambassadors and heads of states from that region. And that has at the same time helped Britain on the world stage because we've been able to it's been able to have a positive effect on our soft power. And that is the reaction at the moment.
All right, Maida Sharifi, stay with me because I want us to talk more about the demise of the Queen. Now, the Queen has died at the age of 96 and her first son, Charles, is now the King. He will be known as King Charles III. In the next few minutes, we'll give you a detailed course of events on what will happen next leading up to Queen's funeral in around 11 days' time. The official announcement from Buckingham Palace has already been published, but before it was hung up, it would have been preceded by a call cascade, with the Prime Minister personally informed by the Queen's private secretary. Now, after the announcement is made, flags across the royal residence, the White Hall and other government buildings were lowered to half-mast. Meanwhile, on day one of the mourning period, which is today, ceremonial gun salutes have taken place at Hyde Park and at Tower Hill followed by a minute of national silence. The new monarch, King Charles III, is also expected to conduct his first audience with the United Kingdom Prime Minister, after which he will meet the Earl Marshal to officially sign off on the funeral plans. The state funeral is expected to be held in 10 days' time. After all the formalities regarding the proclamation of the new king is done, the coffin is then expected to leave Balmoral and be taken by road to the Palace of Holyrood House in Edinburgh. There will then be a ceremonial procession which will be attended by the members of the royal family, after which service will be open to public for 24 hours. The coffin is then expected to be flown to London, but before the coffin arrives, there will be rehearsals for the procession of the late Queen's coffin from Buckingham to Westminster Hall. It is expected the coffin will be borne on a gun carriage and later be transferred to State House and travel to Windsor. After a procession through Windsor, a committal service will be held at St. George's Chapel, Windsor Castle, during which the coffin will be lowered into the royal vault. WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.